Is this the most people this room's ever seen? I don't know. It's 6:31, November 19th, so we'll open this meeting of the Board of Health. Again, thanks everybody for coming. The first item on the agenda tonight is a discussion with the North Brookfield Food Collaborative. So thank you, Karen, for coming. Happy to have you here. I think I just wanted to start by maybe clearing the air a little bit. I just want to clarify that we've had this sort of ongoing discussion with Karen, with the Food Collaborative, for about a month. And I feel like there's been a feeling that there's been some adversity, that we haven't been helping. And I don't think that that's the case. From our perspective, we have really sort of done everything that we have at our fingertips to help. There's been a lot of communication. At no time did we ever indicate that we wanted to shut down the collaborative. That has not ever been our goal, not ever been even on our mind, I think. We understand 100% the importance of the work you're doing, and all that we have been trying to do is to find a way for your organization to operate under the compliance of state law and the state food code. And I know it's a difficult discussion, it's a difficult process, and it can be confusing, but that's where we're coming from. We're trying to just allow the regulations to be upheld and for everything to stay within compliance.
Can you explain what that process is? Because I don't think there's been transparency, which is what the issue is.
So, okay, so
what is
two
going
things.
on? What
Okay,
is the
so
Food
first thing,
Collaborative
hold on one
need?
second, please. So first thing, we can't just have people speaking. That's not the way the open meeting works, okay? So if you'd like to talk, I'm happy to call on you. Will it be a 2-minute maximum for speaking? But right now, I'd like to just have the discussion with Karen because she's on the agenda and she has the document with us. I'm happy to talk a little bit about the process, but as I mentioned, it's like a fairly long, drawn-out process. It's not just you're okay one day, you're not okay the other day, or vice versa. So the long and the short of it is, if you are an organization serving, handling, offering, selling food, you need a food permit. That's the way the law works. There are multiple different types of food permits. The location that the Food Collaborative operates out of currently is a residence. You can get a residential food permit. Residential food permits under the food code and the state law do not allow for time and temperature controlled for safety foods to be, used, handled, processed in those locations. That's the primary reason why this has been a problem. If the location was different, or if the foods were different, there would be no issue at all. Does that make sense?
What's the location issue? What's the food issue?
Yeah, what's the food issue?
So in order to receive a residential food permit, you cannot serve time and temperature controlled for safety foods. That means anything that needs to be refrigerated or needs to stay cool in order to be fresh and can't, needs to be controlled in order to prevent bacteria growth or food spoilage or stuff like that. A residence is a residence. So you can't have a kitchen in a residence preparing, serving, offering foods like fish.
As you know, it's an unoccupied.
That unfortunately is not.
So I think I have a solution to the problem, so if I could have my 2 minutes of fame.
Absolutely.
And then maybe if there's any other questions.
Yep.
So
Take 4.
I'd like to introduce myself. Good evening. My name is Karen Farrington, and I represent the North Brookfield Community Food Collaborative and the 160 families who depend on our weekly food distribution services to feed themselves and their loved ones. It is our hope that the Board of Health will be willing to work with us to keep this vital service running for the community that we both serve by creating pathways to ensure that the collaborative meet and exceed all state, town laws, and bylaws and standards. For the past year, our volunteer-run collaborative has been addressing a documented need in our community. We serve seniors who can no longer drive to grocery stores, families working multiple jobs to make ends meet, residents with disability who face barriers at existing facilities, and children who depend on consistent access to nutritious food. We started to partner with the school system for storage and distribution. As more families reached out for help, far more than we anticipated, it became clear the school couldn't accommodate the growth demand. Rather than turn people away, we found an alternative solution. When we first started, we approached local churches about partnership. Those partnerships didn't materialize. Today, one church operates a food pantry that isn't ADA accessible. Residents with disabilities, elder neighbors with mobility challenges, and caregivers picking up food for their clients cannot access due to physical barriers and ID requirements. Another church runs a smaller food pantry and has limited space that cannot accompany our growing inventory. Both churches' hours of operation together total 11 hours a month that they're open to the public. We operate 24/7, 365 days a year, pickup or delivery, no matter what. The Food Collaborative fills a real gap by providing fresh, nutritious food. Through partnerships with Whole Foods, Hannaford's, Panera Bread, local farms, C&S Grocer, we distribute fresh salads, fruits, vegetables, and perishable items. This is quality, nutritious, that promotes health, especially for vulnerable populations. We provide a great supplement to the offerings that the church food pantries provide, to those that are able to get to their operational days. With their non-perishable offering and our produce and meat, families are able to create nutritious and balanced meals. I want to be crystal clear about what happens at our facility. We operate a cold storage distribution logistic hub, not a commercial kitchen. Food arrives from licensed distributors and donors in its original packaging. We temporarily store it in temperature control refrigeration. We organize delivery routes based on household size, dietary requirements like those of our senior housing residents, and accessibility needs. We assemble prepackaged items into household-specific bags without opening, repackaging anything, and then we distribute the food same day. From the time we pick up the frozen food and distribute it, it is under 2 hours, and the food is transported in heavy-duty insulated bags with thermometers. There is no cooking, no heating, no food preparation, no stove, no cooking equipment of any kind. Food stays in the same packaging it arrives in from Whole Foods, Hannaford's, Panera, local farms, C&S Grocer. Think of it like a postal distribution center. We receive items from licensed sources, organize them by receipt, and facilitate delivery. We're not manufacturing or processing anything. Massachusetts law actually supports this work. Under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 94, Section 328, nonprofits distributing donated food must be inspected and comply with permit requirements, but the law specifically prohibits charging fees. The question before this board is whether we need permits or inspections. We absolutely do. The question is, what type of permit matches what we actually do? We're being told we need a commercial kitchen permit. Commercial kitchen permits are for those operating, cooking, heating, and preparing food. We don't do any of that. What we do is cold storage and distribution of prepackaged food from licensed facilities, similar to how food banks operate throughout Massachusetts. We did find a law in Massachusetts with a permit for exactly what we do, cold storage warehouse licensing. And what it says is established license requirements of cold storage warehouse separate from commercial kitchen requirements. It distinguishes storage operations from preparation operations. It provides legal framework for cold storage facilities, different regulatory category than a commercial kitchen. When concerns about our operation were raised, distribution to 160 families was immediately stopped. There was no transition period, no collaborative problem solving, no guidance on pathways forward. While we navigate regulatory questions, children are going hungry and seniors are going without fresh produce. In times like these, when economic pressures are unprecedented, when trust in institutions is fragile, local government has a choice. We can be gatekeepers who create barriers, or we can be problem solvers who work within the law to serve public good. Research on effective local governance shows that the best outcomes happen when authorities exercise their power through partnership, building trust through mutual respect, open communication, and commitment to public interest. Food insecurity is a public health issue. This board has both the authority and responsibility to address it. Communities across Massachusetts have found creative ways to support food pantries, food banks, the food rescue programs while maintaining safety and compliance. The Greater Boston Food Bank and hundreds of church pantries are feeding people right now tonight using this similar model. I'm asking the board to work with us as we are both volunteer community servants focused on the health and well-being of our fellow neighbors. It is our hope that the board will begin to think outside the box, go the extra step, and find a way. And if there isn't a way, pave one. Work with us by issuing us a permit under the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 94, Section 66, cold storage warehouse licensing. Allows us to continue to feed North Brookfield, to grow in other communities, and open a door for others in this community to be able to serve in the same capacity. Right now, conduct a second inspection of our storage facility to ensure it meets food safety standards. Issue the appropriate permit for cold storage and distribution, not a commercial kitchen permit designed for cooking operations. Provide technical guidance so we may maintain ongoing compliance with temperature monitoring and safety protocols. Follow state law by not charging fees, and for long-term, draft a bylaw amendment that clarifies how uninhabited residential spaces may be used for nonprofit food storage and distribution, subject to proper inspection and permitting. 160 families are waiting to see how this board will use its authority. Will we work together to find a compliant path forward, or will regulatory concerns prevent us from addressing food insecurity in our community? Authority without collaboration creates obstacles. Authority with collaboration creates solutions. I believe in partnership. I am here to work with the board to provide documentation, comply with inspections, and meet the legitimate safety standards. Massachusetts law supports this work. The principles of effective local governance support collaborative problem solving. The people of North Brookfield need this board to exercise leadership that enables community resilience. Let's show our community that when people step up to feed hungry neighbors, their local government will work with them to find solutions. Thank you. Or we could arm wrestle, one of these.
You'd win, Karen.
I don't know, my shoulder hurts. I lift a lot of boxes.
So we've had a chance to look at this, but we literally got this yesterday, so
Yeah.
there is a lot in it that we don't know. The first thing that I did look up, though, is warehouse licensing. And unless you've seen something different, warehouse licensing is a state operation and not a local permit. So that's, I think, the first thing to look into. I don't know if that's a permit we can even have the authority to issue to you. You know, I also just want to, I appreciate the difficulty that this has posed to your organization and obviously to the people who are, you know, really needing the services that you provide. You have to remember, we are a 3-member volunteer board, and boards of health, local boards of health across the state, our primary, for better or worse, our primary objective is to uphold the regulations that are already in place. If we had a 10-person, health department here, maybe we would have programming to be, people capacity to be able to go out and investigate new programs to help additional people. I wish we did. We don't. I just want to point out that we are in, I feel like we are in no way, and I know that none of us are intentionally preventing anything from happening.
I don't think you're intentionally preventing anything, but I am extremely frustrated that a month later, I just still get the same response from you and the health inspector. Sorry. We can think outside the box. There are loopholes, and
But again, it's not our responsibility to find loopholes. We're here to
Well, I
uphold.
kinda
She found you.
Oh, but you're
Hey, everybody, simmer down, please. My question is,
Yeah,
you've
what's your
known
name?
about us for,
What's your name?
she's
Oh, but you
I'm the
can
vice
talk.
president, Audra Hogel.
And your name, I just need people to identify
I'm
themselves.
Audra Hogel, the vice president of the Food Collaborative. My question is, you've known about us for a year and a half. Why are you shutting us down now?
So we are not shutting you down?
Well, pretty much.
Yes.
You have
Pretty much, until we find a.
We have not issued a cease and desist. We have not,
Okay,
we have not
okay,
You did a month
obstructed your
ago.
operation whatsoever.
Besides that,
My
besides
So-
that,
My last conversation with the health inspector on Thursday, I did say to her, I said, I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just a very honest person. And that one Thursday, we weren't able to give food to people, I'll never do that again. Because people were showing up at my door and
Right.
we could feed them and I didn't. And I was honest with her and I said, in all honesty, I'm not going to stop, so let's try to work together. And she said, then you will get a cease and desist.
That
Which
is-
then I said,
so
I will
that-
throw it in the basket and we will continue. So we have to try to figure something out. And it's not, oh, I want my way. It's, people need to eat.
I understand. So here's where, so number one, what your question. I've known that the collaborative existed. I did not know what your operations consisted of. I just didn't. I don't know if Sam did, I don't know if Sue did.
Yeah, I think the salient question here, we want the food collaborative to keep operating and to keep delivering food to people. That's obviously very important, and we've always been supportive of that. The only issue that created an obstruction here is we didn't understand that some of the foods being delivered are time and temperature control sensitive. And there are rules around that we need to uphold for the sake of making sure that no one gets sick. And we absolutely trust that Karen is doing things carefully and responsibly and also doesn't want that to happen. But there are rules and laws around those types of foods that we have to adhere to fairly, in a fair and consistent way. And the reason I think this became such an issue is because it took a long time for us to find out that that was what was happening. And all that we said is, until all the permits are worked out, please don't deliver TSC, time and temperature sensitive
Which
foods.
is 80% of what we do. And I know the board did say we could continue with the non-perishables. The unfortunate thing about that is we have to purchase those. We do not get a lot of donations, and after 2 weeks of feeding 160 people with non-perishables, we would be out of business. The partnership we have with C&S Grocer, when we get that pallet of food, of chicken nuggets and shrimp and vegetables, that is the bulk of what we do, and that is all free, which is why we have been so successful.
Yeah, and we appreciate that, but again, we don't want anything to go wrong and for anyone to get sick.
And nobody
So
has.
That's
Cheryl
absolutely.
Scotland.
And I'll just lastly say, I trust that the North Brookfield Food Collaborative also does not want that to
No, I'm a
happen.
registered nurse with my BSN.
Absolutely.
I can tell you more what can kill you than you could imagine.
Absolutely.
And I am very cautious about everything. I don't accept food from other food pantries because I don't know the chain of where that came from. I know we go to Westfield, to North Brookfield, unload in my driveway, everybody gets their delivery. And what we're talking about is every once in a while, if we're blessed and get extra, it goes into our freezer. But 90% of that frozen food is delivered to the driveway. The volunteers are there, they make the 70 bags, and they go deliver.
Oh, and we absolutely appreciate that. We just, there are rules and laws, and we have to be very careful
what-
about making exceptions because
And they're
for
there for a reason.
So
You
what
can be as safe-
specifically-
Hold on, please. You can be as safe as you want to be, and we know that you're being safe, but what happens when something does happen?
But if I take my refrigerator and freezer and I put it in my driveway, it is now considered a community refrigerator, and that is okay. Community refrigerators are all through Worcester, Southbridge.
They're on
that-
public property, those are not on private property.
No, that's not true.
the inspector said we could.
That's not true. So
Why
you,
doesn't the
as long
town
as
look
you
for some
have the
public property
homeowner's
for that
permission,
then?
or whoever owns that piece of property.
Yeah.
And now this is the problem that I have, that somebody
Refrigeration.
was creative enough to do this because people don't have places to store it. So they're throughout the community where I could have chicken on my counter for a day and think, I'm gonna go donate it to that food pantry, that refrigerator, and then you could have somebody who has the flu, a communicable disease, who starts digging through all that food to get what they want, and that is okay. Somebody modified that to be okay. This can be modified to make it happen. We just have to
Correct.
work together and be creative.
Tell her specifically what she needs to do that
I
she
need to
isn't
move
doing.
it out of the house.
Move it into my driveway.
I have
My driveway is fine.
I have an unoccupied in-law apartment,
Question,
which has
please.
been donated to the collaborative. We live on the second and third floor. We have a second exit that we go to our second and third floor. We do not enter that way unless we're doing anything that's involved with the food collaborative.
So to your point, Karen, so I found out literally 2.5 hours ago. DPH called our regional health director and said there was an opportunity, a possibility for you to submit a proposal for a variance. This is not something that I thought was even legally possible. It's something that may or may not work. So,
Because I know the zoning board and the planning board, both zone rural, and obviously they have different guidelines. I went to the zoning board and the planning board, and they both said a nonprofit food pantry can run out of a residential kitchen for how I'm zoned, but you have different, obviously, rules. So, I mean, that sounds a little hopeful, but we have to work together to try to make this happen.
absolutely, absolutely. And again, I think that we have been working together. But, so,
There's a gentleman there, could we?
Thank you. Let me contribute this.
could you
For the
just say
last
your name
20
for a second?
years, I've been working probably every town from the river over to Boston suburbs with SBA and SCORE, not managing, but assisting businesses, food manufacturing, restaurants, church, food distribution, and everything that's going on here is perfectly correct. There's a food pantry I just worked on in Ware that's in an apartment. The same kind of facility you're talking about here. It's perfectly fine. It's got tested and so forth. But there's one problem I've had over the 20 years, and it's been town departments of Board of Health, planning boards, Board of Selectmen, and how's the other, well, the tree people,
Highway.
the
Art.
huggers. Your job is not to say, no, you can't do that. It's really not. Your job in town government is to say, how can we help you achieve what you want
Exactly.
to do?
That
This has been so important that I've written articles nationwide on this topic, and they've been put into place in reservations south of New Mexico, Chicago suburbs, and I've done classes all across Massachusetts with town officials. The funny thing is I did one here in the library. Nobody from North Brookfield showed up. I got other towns in there, but what I was teaching town officials is how to help instead of being a pain in the ass and saying, no, you can't do that.
Exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
that's my speech, but
Shut it down.
it's that easy. You don't have to kind of backpedal now with federal regs or state regs. This happens in every town in Massachusetts. You have food pantries. We worked on 3 industrial kitchens. There's one in Worcester, Greenfield, and we put one in Holyoke. That's just for the town of Holyoke. This is not an industrial kitchen. Those have specific rules. This is a food distribution with temperature controls and time controls, and those exist. And the 3 health inspectors that toured this facility okayed it and said if they were doing an inspection, this thing would pass. It's good. So let's get on with it.
Yes,
and let's
please.
help.
Please.
I'll just briefly say thank you for sharing that. And there's another side to the story here. We don't want to argue or fight. We haven't at any point in this process. But
have you looked for a solution for her?
Since this
Yes.
issue came up, we have suggested several courses of action that the collaborative could take to get licensed and permitted, so this is not an issue. Ethan can speak to those.
You told me to join the churches that are already permitted.
That is one suggestion that's been made. Ethan maybe can speak to more, but it is not the case that we simply said stop. We only asked to wait on certain kinds of items until the permitting and licensing was worked out. And we have suggested different pathways that can get done. And there are others that have been brought up here tonight. And we want that to happen. We want that to get done. So this all is behind us, and you can continue with the work that you
I
want
must
to
have
do.
missed the email with all the suggestions for us.
So-
Because the one suggestion that I keep hearing from the health inspector and the Board of Health is join a church that's already permitted. That is the only thing. So if there was a bunch of things, I must have missed that email. 'Cause
Yeah, could you clarify that?
So the things that I know that we had talked about, I believe that we talked about maybe the first night that you were at our meeting, so that what we considered, what we thought at least would be the easiest would be to partner with an existing organization that has a space that's permitted. So we've got 3 churches in town, and then there are other churches and other organizations in neighboring towns. That was our idea for the first one. You can rent a commissary kitchen. You could, I think that our building inspector might have suggested building, or maybe you even suggested building a standalone unit on your property that would then be considered a commercial.
We asked the question, if we move it outside, that's okay. And we were told, yeah, as long as we build a shed. How
it's-
insane
if
is
it's a-
that?
Right, that
It
doesn't make any sense.
How
So in the
insane
summer,
is
how is
that?
that gonna work? She's paying for the electric as it is.
The idea is, though, is, and I think this comes from, from general food safety science over the course of many years, is that residences often are a source. I'm not saying yours, I'm just saying historically that can be a point of contamination.
If we were preparing food, I've
from
even
anything.
said, I'll call Tassie to come and disconnect the stove. I don't even know if the damn stove works. My son used to live there, and then he got a house, and so nobody's
So
lived
again,
there.
but what I want to say, like,
Sir,
it didn't.
We're finding church
Okay, hold on
basements
one second,
are
Jim.
dirtier.
So what I wanted to say is,
Facility.
what I'm trying to say is that the variance option did not appear to us, to ever have been an actual option, which is why we didn't pursue that, which is why we needed to stick to this is the law, this is what we have to do. We're now seeing that that's a possibility, so I think that could be a really good option, and a potential way for you to either utilize that space or make changes to the space to make it usable, whatever it might take. I don't know, but it is, I think, something that is worth exploring.
Excuse me, my name is Jim Macarillo. I'm a friend of Karen, and I've been following this, and I've been looking up the different laws and the regulations you folks have to handle. There are 391 different boards of health in the Commonwealth, okay? They have to follow broad spectrum rules of the Department of Public Health. They make their own bylaws. They make their own situations to fit their communities. That's the way they function. That's how they have a food pantry in an apartment. That's how they have food pantries in residences. All you have to do is create a bylaw to allow her to operate. All this variance bullshit is bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't look up
Yeah.
stuff, you don't look up stuff, you don't know yourself. That's
The
your
town
problem.
gives variance
variances
This
for
variance could be
everything
granted
all the
tonight.
time.
Especially
All
not
the
the
time.
bylaw tonight.
Please stop, please stop.
No.
Number one, you're incorrect.
Why should
And number
you?
two,
I'm
I'm
not
not going to.
incorrect.
Okay, we don't need to discuss it any further. We're going to continue with Karen's discussion to forward.
Really?
There's someone over there that.
So you don't like what I'm saying, in other words?
Right.
You don't like the fact that you are responsible for making bylaws
Nancy?
in your town?
Hi, my name is Nancy Waldman, 19 Gilbert Street. I've been part of the Food Collaborative since the beginning. I'm also a retired person who works in Parks and Rec as well as the Cultural Council, so I'm pretty busy. What I would say is that when something comes up, because I'm part of a board, and it's my responsibility to make sure that an issue is addressed and I make sure that I follow all the way through. I was a project manager for 40 years in IT and finance. I know laws, and I know that sometimes if you get people together and they want to come up with a creative solution for a problem, and everyone is involved and everyone is committed to making sure the problem is solved, you can solve just about any problem. And what I'm asking, as another person who serves, as another person who understands completely what it means to have a life and also be part of a board in this town, is treat this problem where we have all these families. I'm looking out here and I'm seeing all these people, and many of them I know who they are. I know their story, I know their hurt. And what I'm asking the board is follow through on this one, because there's so much hurt, there's so much pain, and this is such an important issue to fix for these people in this room. So I'm asking you, as another person who serves this town, to follow through with this one and make sure that you're part of the solution. You make sure that the problem is solved, and then go do something else.
Yep.
I think that's what everybody wants to see here. So I'm asking you guys if you would do this and make sure that the problem that I know has a solution can be solved by everyone who feels that it's important. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've had a number of people stand up and say there are solutions to this problem. You three have to be receptive to helping to find it, not just saying it's Karen's problem. Karen, you find it, figure it out, and come back to us. That's not fair. That's not fair. You have a big responsibility, the three of you, to everybody here and everybody out in the streets. It is a really hard time in this country. I can't pay for my medicine
We
and
started
these
off
groceries.
just following a law. The law states that the conditions in which you're operating with TCS Foods has to be done in a commercial kitchen. It's just a law. And that's what we started with a law. And surely we might be able to work out exceptions or variances, but you're one specific instance. If we just said, well, we're gonna ignore this law totally.
We're not asking you to.
No,
ignore
but
it.
I mean, if we just ignore it, if we just say, oh, well, okay, it's okay for you, who's to stop the next person who might not be as diligent about their care?
That's why you write a
People
bylaw.
go hungry.
Right,
because
no,
you're
and so that's
afraid
why we're
of someone coming
trying,
in the future
well,
and making it difficult
laws
for
are
you.
there for a reason.
Do you go to bed?
It's a
well fed every
Massachusetts
night?
law, and we try to follow the law to start with. And then we can try to work to try to come up with creative solutions.
So what have you guys done this past month? What creative solutions have you three come up with?
Well, we mostly,
Other than saying do it somewhere else,
Exactly.
Yeah, or rent a
because that's
place.
all we've heard.
This is a volunteer organization, they don't have
We're
money to pay
volunteers
for
also.
we're
rent.
also,
You were elected. You
You were
are
elected though to serve a role.
You're not a
in this
volunteer, you are an
community.
elected position.
I don't
Say you're a
think we need to go back
volunteer.
more than saying who's
Yeah.
volunteer is cooler. I mean, we're all volunteering.
we
and
want
it
to
should be for the
help,
same
but
purpose.
we only have a limited time. We are exploring solutions. If the local others, the schools, the senior centers, if that doesn't work for you, and you're exceptional in that you do take very special care with your monitoring, and you're doing the best you can. Technically, you're not the right kind of facility, but that doesn't mean we can't maybe work with that. But you have to recognize that you really, right now, are breaking the law, technically. And that doesn't mean,
That's not true.
All right, but it is, so we're starting with the legal point. We're gonna try to make it work for you, because if we just can't say we're gonna throw out the law and ignore it, because who knows what the person down the road is going to do? They may not be as diligent. So
Well, that's why.
and that's why we're
You do your
exploring.
inspections.
That's why you've had an inspection.
You know,
And
so-
the inspection was fine.
And technically, you're, you know, to give you this, it's gotta be a variance. We can't let you just go through and say, okay, we're gonna let you break the law. But if we can work a way to come up with some sort of variance for you with
So
inspections.
make the variance.
And that's exactly
That's not
where we
the-
are. That's
That's not
exactly.
the
So
point.
why didn't you start the meeting with
That's
that
not the
instead of
point.
making
That's not the process. The
excuses
variance
for
has to
why
come
you
from
can't do it and
There
what
are
they
some
needed
people
to
here
do?
who have had, there's some
Yeah.
people here have had their hands up,
Oh,
to the
man.
lady,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, my name is
say,
Susan
sir,
Loskowitz,
we need
and I'm
you.
curious.
No, I'm not gonna listen to any more horse shit. The variance is up to you to make, not up to Karen.
No.
You tell her she needs surf safe. You tell her she needs allergen awareness. You tell her to take everything off the floor. You tell her to dance on one foot. She does it. Okay, everything you've asked for, she's done it. The variance has to come from the Board of Health, which is perfectly legal in the Commonwealth. It's up to you to make the variance for her to operate. So 160 families and all these other people don't have to go hungry. How hard is that? For Christ's sake, do your fucking job.
I know this is really rough on all of you, but you guys wanted this position. We elected you. Some people did anyway. They elected you. So they expect you to fix the problems of the town under your jurisdiction, and this is one of them. Now, we have, what'd you say, 3 churches that give out food a couple days a month, 3 days a month, 11 days a month? And you expect people to go to that church to get the food. Well, the people that get the food are not here tonight. Most of them, because they're elderly. They live up at 271, they live on Ward Street, they live in their houses. How do I know that? Because I was helping Karen deliver some food before. That's how I know that. I know they're not here, I don't see their faces.
food
I'm
is
sure some
delivered to
people
me.
are here.
The food is delivered to me.
Okay, but I'm not saying that everybody, but the majority of people are not sitting here tonight. And they should be, but they can't get here. They can't get to Hannaford's, where, by the way, if you pick up a roast sometimes, oh yeah.
25.
You buy it today, 25 cents off, or whatever it is, the same roast, next day, because it's past due. It's not killing anybody.
They sell it.
You're still buying it, they're selling it, they're selling their sandwiches the same way. Price job for a big Y, but that's not your concern, only Hannaford. We also have churches that have all the same food that Karen has. How did they get away with it? Is it because they don't have the frozen foods that Karen has? Well, how many kids don't, how many kids eat canned vegetables all the time? How many kids eat canned potatoes all the time? They don't. You have to have the French fries, you have to have the potato things, you have to have some of the frozen things. There's fish in there.
We should look into it.
Fish, how many people go and buy fish and can't afford it half the time? There's shrimp, there's all kinds of foods that parents with children can't afford.
And
They really can't,
seems like
certainly not your
little
elderly.
things.
You know, these elderly people in these homes are paying, they're subsidized. They get the food stamps, SNAP. Does that all sound familiar to everybody? They get about $30, some of them, a month. They can't eat off of $30. Do you know how much they make a month on Social Security?
$887.
That's right. I worked my whole life. I'm 69 years old. I get $1,500 a month. That's nothing. Can you imagine that? That's nothing. So when I get on my own, I'm not on my own right now. I'm living at my mother's, who is 90. When I get on my own, I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need Karen's food. And I'm hoping to help her as much as I can now, but when I get to that situation, because it's coming. My point with you guys are, you were elected because you wanted the positions that you have.
Exactly.
The only one that has made any real good sense right now is the woman.
Right there, right there.
The woman. She's telling us that you were following a law. Oh, the laws of Massachusetts. They don't pertain to every single community. Certain laws do, but not all laws. And now we know we can get a variance. Like this lady keeps saying, or that lady, I don't know which one it was, kept saying, why did you start with that instead of getting us all riled up? We're all riled up here. I am like, I probably have high blood pressure right now. Because I'm so upset that 2 men and 1 woman who wanted this position, well, you know, Karen, it's a house. What the fuck cares? Do you ever go down to those churches and see what's around those churches? In the basements where they keep stuff? It's not perfect. It's dirty. It's got cobwebs. The whole bit. I'm curious.
Good job.
Can we talk about the variance process?
Yeah, what happens to happen?
So, okay, so we'll start there. So literally, I got a phone call at like, I don't know, 4:30 today. I don't know how the variance process works, other than what I've already done my research between then and now, which states that you come up with a proposal. This is what our health inspector also said. If you provide a proposal for the variance, you bring it to us, it gets discussed, make changes, don't make changes.
Well, since you would know exactly what I need to put in the
Right.
proposal, how about you
Right.
help me write it?
So I
Exactly. Let's
absolutely
do it
will,
tonight.
we absolutely will reach out to, you've spoken with Michelle, who's the regional health director. We'll talk to her and find out what the best route for the variance will be, and we'll be.
And that's all we're asking, is just help, just to do this together, partner together, do everything that we can, until we literally cannot. That's all we're asking, is to partner together, not go to another building, or the easy way out. We're just asking for you guys to be on our side and be as into this as we are. That's all we're asking.
I
It's
just want you to,
help
I
us.
feel like I want you to understand though that we are not trying to be a roadblock. We are also bound by those same laws, and that's what we are trying to work through and work around. You know, it's, are they the right
You
laws?
can't just
Maybe
give an
not.
exception to anyone.
No,
So we're trying to make it
So,
for
I
you.
don't 100% understand, and like, when you say the law is law, and I agree with that. So, when somebody breaks a law, they meet the judge, and then there's a jury, and then they discuss, well, and there's modifications, and okay, well, you're only gonna get 3 years, the law can be morphed, it can be flexible.
And that's the variance that we're talking
And
about.
be creative, and hopefully this
And that's-
variance,
This is
If
only
we can
something
work together.
that we became aware of just a couple hours ago, that
and I
this
can
was an
appreciate
option.
that. I
Literally before this meeting, we found this out, that we could consider this and work with you to do it.
And it's my understanding, although I could be wrong, that this type of variance has not ever even been introduced. So that's why, it was
Well,
something that was
let's be the
completely
ones
unknown.
that
Yeah,
do it.
let's start it.
Let's put North Brookfield on the map and get what we
How's
just
it gonna
did.
drive and find
And
out?
that's
I'm
what-
happy to do
and
it.
I will meet any of you, whatever it's convenient for you at any time, and we can sit down and write this up together and tell me what I need to do. You know, everything so far I've done, and
Yeah.
the one thing that the collaborative will always do is stick to their mission, and that is to feed people.
So,
That's it.
And we agree with that.
Yeah, if I could just make a quick comment, and then we have more people to hear from, but I just want to convey, we have always wanted this to work out, and we have always wanted to make it possible for you to do
But
all
have
the
you been
important
looking this
operations
past month for ways?
that you do. And just to clarify, I understand people are very frustrated that they haven't seen more proactive action, they haven't seen swifter action to get this resolved. But, you know, and I'll just mention, this is a board that meets once a month. Sometimes, of course, we'll need to do more than that.
Yeah.
But for us, from our perspective, this developed very quickly, and we felt a little surprised at how fast the frustration came out. And that's not to say that's wrong or it's unfair. You absolutely have the right to express the frustration you are. But just to understand from our point of view, this happened very quickly, and we felt also that it's our duty to make sure that things are done right and safely, to protect everyone in the town and to protect the collaborative, to make sure that nothing comes from the state or from any other higher authorities above our heads that could cause much bigger problems. And we have absolutely never wanted operations of this organization to stop, and we've never wanted any sort of penalties. That has never been our idea or our proposal. And we still certainly don't want that to happen, and we absolutely are going to work with you to come up with a good solution as fast as possible. But I'll just say that, but we have a couple more people.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
Can we pick a date to work together?
Excuse me. So what's the next step in the variance process? Do we know enough about that?
Not really.
Frankly, no.
No,
So
just
we have to
heard
do
about
our
it.
due diligence, find out
So
how
is the
that
Department
works.
of Public Health giving you guidelines as far as?
I am
how that
hoping they will.
Okay.
There will definitely be people with experience in that process, and we'll work that out.
And I will say frankly, I'm frustrated that we went through a month of going back and forth with you and having no action, and then being told today that this was an option. So
And you have
that's-
to understand, you're dealing with the type of person that does not like to do things wrong. And so, although you look at it that in a short time, I know every week I'm doing food, I'm doing something wrong, and I want to do it right. And so, it's very frustrating, and I feel like, you know, it doesn't matter, but like, when every time there's a correspondence and the end result is, no, we're not gonna inspect your kitchen, no, we're not gonna inspect your kitchen, and I'm like, well, what about this, and what about this, and no, we can't inspect a residential kitchen. That becomes extremely frustrating, and I do have hope tonight because of what you're saying, and I hope it's gonna be followed through, and we're gonna collaborate, and we're gonna work together, and we're gonna make this happen for the people in North Brookfield. Not for me, I don't have an ego, really. I mean, if this all stopped, I'd go to the Bahamas for a while, you know? But it's for all the people in this town. It's the 160 right now, and maybe the 20 next month, and maybe this one. It's, you know, it's not gonna go away. The economy is not designed to make things work for people.
I think, as we said, I think we're gonna work, you know, as quickly and as collaboratively as we possibly
But
can.
only once a month? Are you gonna work on it?
No.
You also
Definitely not.
Yeah, I guess,
think we should just take
I
two
guess
more.
so I think that the concern has been that there's no traction, right? That's kind of what I'm
Things
saying.
just don't happen.
And I know you've looked, and I've certainly had conversation, but now the Department of Public Health has given something, had kind of given a viable option, right? And now, like, hopefully they'll give some outline or some kind of information as to, okay, here's how to go about getting it. So I guess for me, what I'd like to hear before this is over is, okay, you'll be in communication with the Department of Public Health, or will it be the health inspector?
Yeah, our regional director has the knowledge and probably the connections as well.
Okay, so that conversation will happen with them, and then that gets fed back to you folks.
Yep, and then we'll communicate with Karen, and it's my understanding that it's Karen's responsibility to provide the proposal to us. Then we can effectively hash it out, make changes as needed, if needed.
But I have no idea
We
what
can
you
give you,
need.
So that's
yeah,
what
we can
we'll-
give you guidelines
Exactly.
to what the
So I'd
proposal
like to
should
sit
say.
down with you, and you can tell me, hey, write this, and
Well, that's what we gotta
No
find
problem.
out from
yeah. So you don't
those
know.
above us.
I expect me to know. So once you guys know.
No, we're not expecting you to know, that's what I
Let-
mean.
We don't know because we have to go to the next higher level to find
Just
out.
so you know, she's had her hand up for a while, but she's been tucked in the corner. Just let you know.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I work with DBS, and I have clients in the area. I also live in the area who do rely on the food. They have developmental disabilities. They do not have the ability to cook for themselves. They do not have the ability to even find a local food bank. So this is something they really rely on so they can eat healthy meals. I mean, they receive EBT, but the junk food, the candies that you can get, it's cheaper than the healthier options. It's like a luxury to eat healthy. But because of Karen and the collaborative, individuals are able to have a healthier meal, especially with the cost of foods.
And that's why it's so important.
And real estate tax
Yeah,
and
there-
water
There
bills.
are a couple
and-
of people who've been waiting. I think maybe these three who have their hands up, maybe we can get to them, and that'll be it. But yeah, maybe the lady in green first, yeah.
So, because you don't know anything about it, I'm guessing that you don't know how long it will take for this variance to go through, like, okay.
How long
wish
does it
I could say.
actually take to just get a hold of the people you need to talk to? Can you guys reach them tomorrow, or it'll be a month from, are they easily accessible?
The regional health director is
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
very helpful with us. She's kind of our, like the one we go to for questions.
Go-to person.
So we kind of have to go, we don't know everything there is to know about health, but we know, she knows the laws, she knows what can be probably written, how this should be written, or could get more guidance, and then we can pass it along and help you get the
So
thing started.
what happens in the meantime? Is she still able to operate without being penalized? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, there have
because
never
I'm
been.
sure she
there have
wants
never
to know,
been-
and so do we all that
There haven't
receive.
been penalties, and I know that this time of year especially, I know all the work that you've been doing. I don't think we have any intention of trying to stop that from happening.
Okay, and the last thing is, I'm just curious about zoning. Well, I don't know much about the zoning, so I know residential, business, whatever. Is it possible to change that residence to a business zone? You know what I mean?
Would that make
I
a
think that would
difference?
take.
Hairdressers do it all
Yeah,
the
because they
time.
said she doesn't have a business,
I think that
it's a
there,
residential zoned area.
if I'm correct, and I definitely might not be, being a nonprofit,
You can't do that.
no, you can. I think being a nonprofit allows multiple uses even on the residential property.
So what would be the best choice for her, to get this variance or to change the zoning?
Or to go with her cold storage?
I don't know if you've talked to the zoning inspector, I honestly don't know.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
think probably the variance
The
could be
variance
more
may supersede that.
targeted
suited
and tailored
Okay.
to the needs of the organizations.
Okay.
That would probably be the better route.
All right, I was just
but
curious,
We'll work that out.
All right, thank you.
And I think also just to that point, like if you were to try and be zoned commercial, there would not be, you wouldn't be able to use it as a house at all. It couldn't be a residence.
Oh, at all?
Yeah, so you don't want to mess with that if you don't have to.
Okay,
right?
yeah, I was just curious, okay.
But, yeah, bring Bruce in the back.
So really quick, my name is Bruce, I'm from Summer Street, I'm a resident, have been here for a while. I really think things are gonna go right on this. One of the things though, from
You were supposed to be.
the better part of my life in business, is to understand that a plan doesn't move forward unless there's a time component. Now, a bunch of people have asked about the time. I just suggest that you guys meet with Karen. You can do it off, after the meeting, but find out, establish a time, valid times that you can work on things by to get this done. And I know it's gonna work for
Good
everybody.
idea, yeah.
That's it.
Yes, that was good.
Thank you.
And maybe the lady in black would be waiting.
My name is Jen Labonte. I live on Grove Street. My family has been recipients of the Food Collaborative. My mother also, she lives in the elderly complex. You were talking about the food safety. I get that. I understand it, but they deliver frozen foods and things like that. We were all notified several months in a row that if you're not there to answer your door, if you don't leave some sort of cooler outside of your door, it does not get left. So they are trying to comply with that as well.
Just to throw that in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
just to-
just for informational purposes, so they are taking steps for the time-sensitive food also.
Well, thank you. Sure. Yeah, quick, Sue, last one.
I'm Sue Lewandowski, 2 Air Street. For the last 3 years, I've been on a multi-town, 16-town food policy council. And what Karen is doing is what they wish every other town would do. When we were at the meeting that I think that you were on, when we had one of the congressmen here, again, Karen is doing what every other town should do if they can. And we have an opportunity here to not only just make it work, but show the other towns around us that
Exactly,
we
be an
can work
example.
together and make it happen. And I know you guys are only doing your job because I've been in a position like you, and I understand where you're coming from, and I understand the frustration of all of you. But I think with a little patience, but not too much, that we can make this something that other states might even look. I mean, but you, again, it's only happening because of a few, well, not a few now because you've grown, really dedicated people that have put this,
I have the insane ideas, but they go nowhere without the 15 volunteers that we have.
And let's not forget, she was awarded for this. So.
That's right. Yes.
Because it takes a kind
You know,
person to just
I got
do
a
this.
question, you can't see this far, I don't wave it at you.
You already spoke.
Karen can solve this problem right now, ignore all of you. All she has to do is call this the Church of Karen's Food Distribution. It's a church. And you get no-
I'll come on Sundays and pray. That is great.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Wait a minute, just 1 minute, okay? The thing is changing to another building, that's out of the question. You'll have a class action suit on you like you wouldn't believe. So that's out. I hope whoever you're gonna talk to in the state is not being used as to defend your position that you're trying to hold to. You're nice people, you're double shuffling now, solve the goddamn problem. We've got a lot of problems for you. We can, if you want, we can have a meeting like this on the transfer station. You know, you name it, anything you touch, we can go after you. So she's complying with everything I've seen
Jen,
around
you know
the
what, Jen,
state.
I think that's enough. That was a little.
What do you want?
All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Karen.
Hopeful thing that I've heard, and I look forward to working
We
with
will
you.
absolutely be in touch and we'll see what we can get done. I don't want to make guarantees, but I absolutely hope it will work.
And thank you for everyone for coming and showing your support.
And don't forget, Ethan's up for election next year.
And thank you, Karen, and everyone who works with the collaborative. Thank you.
Here?
I thought so. It doesn't sound like one is a crowd.
No. I think we're still gonna finish this.
Still going.
Thank you. So just to be clear, this is a local thing, not a state thing for her. That's my other
The
question,
variance,
but everybody keeps talking.
it's a local variance.
Unfortunately, it's state law.
So the permit and stuff is like a state law, but it's town, what? Town.
So there's a state law and state food code that all food establishments are supposed to go by. So that's the state.
Right.
The local towns issue the permits that require establishments to follow
So
the
the
state.
variance can apply to that, to the town. The variance can apply to the town's conditions for issuing the permit.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what we think we
So
can do.
I meant like the whole problem, the whole issue this past time is.
We can't
Like
issue a local
zoning.
permit because the facility doesn't meet the state requirements.
Hopefully we can get a
Yeah, that'd be great.
budget
Because, I
alone.
mean, even for a small town, it's a great thing. I know this is.
She obviously does very wonderful work with her support. I see the support here from all you guys.
Yeah, and a lot of people are gonna come, like they said, you know, the elderly.
Karen was at our last meeting.
I need 2 brand new knees, I have cervical stenosis, and they bring it up to my door for me and my youngest
That's correct.
daughter.
Yeah, no, we had an informal
That's why I
conversation prior.
That's what I said.
There was no quorum. I used to run my house, open meeting, then I became home to the friend's house because I had to
We have to go back and look at the minutes, I don't remember.
Well, it's nice to hear from all of you and the support that she's got.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hopefully we can support her.
I got the gist that you guys have got.
We're trying, we're really trying.
Well, thank you.
You're right, you are really are trying that well.
We are.
You guys have the authority.
We're in the middle of a meeting, Tina, if you could please go.
And I
Thank you.
understand that, and I understand that you're a problem. And as soon as I can get past you, I will leave.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be trying to ask him, he'll tell you.
All right, shall we continue with the agenda?
Oh, yeah, I know the quality, that, it sounds,
But I can't do night in the front.
I don't know where the town lawyer is. You talk a lot of lots. And they're the one.
I'll keep watching.
Yeah, that's
You know, it might be worth, you might have an option.
true. Yeah, thank you. You too. All right.
What did he say?
Town council.
Talk to town council about the process.
Oh, is that the law? Oh, the
Town
lawyer.
lawyer, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. If anybody feels like sticking around, feel free. I don't know why you would, but. All right, so we've got, next on the agenda, review and discuss new correspondence, including the SMRP grant, which.
Is that this one in here?
That is.
But it doesn't have the green, like, it's the packet behind, the one for the collaborative.
Yeah, this one, the department from the DEP?
Yes.
So, does this, do I just need to sign this? So this.
Yeah, we have to sign it and I have to scan it.
Is this for the, so the SMRP, we get, the RDP points we get money for, and then I also got $6,000 for, they awarded $6,000 for the take it or leave it check.
Take it or leave it, yeah.
I finally got that, yeah.
Nice. What is that for?
There are two separate grants, so the SMRP has the RDP, which is Recycling Dividends Program, that we like get,
Oh, because of our recycling?
because, yeah, you get different amounts of points for the programs that you offer, and then you get money based on the points.
Oh.
So that's that, and then I applied for an additional $6,000 to do work on the take it or leave it.
Oh, yeah, you were saying you got that.
And we got that.
And we got it,
Yeah.
okay.
So, let's see, do you know, Vanessa, is this both of them? I see the 6,000. I don't know. This might have just been
I
the
only
new
see
one.
one on here.
I printed out, everything that's in there is everything that I received in the email, I believe. Hold on.
Okay, I think this is just, yeah, this is just the additional 6,000. We might have already signed off on the initial RDP. But I don't have a pen, so I'll sign it.
Oh, well,
after.
there's actually, it says you have been awarded 6,000 points, has been awarded 10 points, and then your municipal has also been awarded 6,000 in funding for drop-off equipment
Okay.
or for a reuse swap shed.
So they're both
Perfect.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
A reuse swap shed, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Take it or leave it, we call.
Technical term.
For take it or leave it?
Very technical stuff.
Reuse swap shed.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
so
got
6,000
the
for each.
contract, the check, and then 2 checklists, and then the award letter.
It's the 19. You know what, let's pretend I didn't sign this. We probably should vote to actually accept this contract.
I move to accept that contract.
Is there a
All in
second?
favor? Aye.
Do we have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay. I didn't think we were gonna turn down money.
No. So this thing on the back doesn't have anything to do with this application. Somehow there's an application for a septic permit on the back page of this?
Nuh-uh. Oh, yeah, I was reusing scrap paper.
Oh, I
Sorry.
was gonna say, what the
I'm
heck is
trying
this all about?
I'm trying to be frugal.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna just look at this. I've signed one of them. Here, Vanessa, will you just?
Yes.
I guess just make sure I've done everything. I don't know if that one signature is for all 12,000. Let's see, just because, is anybody here to talk to us specifically about anything on the agenda?
We were just curious about item 3, what's happening at the transit station.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, one and 3, but
Okay.
this point definitely 3.
Well, then I think we'll just, we'll keep just going as it is for now. Is there, I think the records request stuff, we should just probably talk about after the fact. That's let's table that. So new business, so the website, so it sounds like the town website is getting revamped. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Oh, the whole town website?
Yeah.
There, the other surrounding towns like Brookfield and a couple others use the same company to revamp their town website, and essentially everything that's on our page, on like splash page on the website now, is going to be taken and just put on in the new server essentially. It's going to look a lot more sharp and clean and put together. But Tara wants to know, like, she said remove any junk off of there, but she also said, you know, to get together and decide what we'd like it to look like things we'd like to have pop out, stuff like that. I guess that's.
Do you know what the timeline on it is?
She said as soon as possible if we can get that to her, but I can definitely go in and do the cleanup. If there's nothing specific that you really are wanting to be on the page, then pictures, she said pictures, if there's any pictures.
Maybe if all of us take the next like week or so to just review our page on the website and see if we have thoughts, and then send stuff.
Yeah,
to
I don't look at it all that often. I should look at it a little closer. I know a lot of it is about the transfer station and getting stickers and.
But I mean, I think probably even identifying like, oh, it would be nice if we didn't have like just one long scrolling page and we had different, you know, like, things like that.
Buttons and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, does that make sense?
Sure.
2026 renewals. I don't know if we need to talk about this necessarily right now. It's just about time to send out renewal letters for permits, and then also for transfer station stickers. So I can run through the process with Vanessa because she hasn't done it yet.
Is that the part that you folks were about with the transfer station and the renewals? Is that what you were interested in?
Yeah, we're just curious. We just saw it on the agenda when we were looking at it, so we're curious if anything's changing.
No, to be honest, I put that under, it shouldn't have been under renewals. I put it under the wrong heading. It should have been under old business. It's just carried over. It's something when we were hiring a new monitor for the transfer station is on the agenda. And when there's business, it carries over into the next month until it closes out. So I made an error.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No expectation for changes at all.
Alright.
You should be all set.
All right, awesome.
I'm really sorry about that.
And usually the letters for stickers go out like beginning of the year-ish, and we usually give I think like 6 to 8 weeks buffer.
Oh.
Okay. And do we pay there or send a check or?
Usually there's instructions on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually easiest to pay. Well, actually, either way.
All right, I'll look for the letter. That's all.
If you send it in, I think then you just have to bring the letter to the transfer station to get the sticker. We're the ones that have the stickers. It's transfers. They're at the transfer station.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Great,
Thank
you
you.
so much. Hi, I'm Amy Hanover. My husband Dave Matterville. We live at 50 Hines Bridge Road.
Yes.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
And Sue. We were just interested in number 6E. We wondered what you had, what that was about.
Yeah, for 45, that one, yeah. So, I got a call from DEP requesting information about that address, and that they said that they had received a complaint about, I don't know how they phrased it, whether it was illegal dumping or whether it was just hazardous use on the property or something like that. So I sent
The complaint.
right.
There was a complaint? It was informational.
Yeah, sorry, that's just how it's.
So I sent a certified letter to the property owner asking for access to the property, and that letter has not yet been. Well, I didn't check the certified. The property owner came to the office, so he must have received. The last I checked, the certified mail hadn't ever been received. But
did you send it to his correct address?
Yeah. So apparently they've been to the office. So we'll reach out again, and so in order to do the inspection, we need to get have him allow on the property, or DEP can issue an administrative warrant, I believe. I don't know if that's on them, I'm not entirely sure how that works. They might need our assistance, but that's.
Where is that from you? Where's that from you?
Right across the street was Carol's old sand pit.
Oh, the sand pit? Somebody's using that for something? We think?
For everything.
Is it still Gosher property?
It's not Gosher property, the property changed hands, and there's several things happening down there causing lots of issues for us trying to live a nice, quiet, peaceful life in North Brookfield. And it's exacerbated, it's just getting a lot worse. And we just like you all to take a look at it.
Have you been down there to see what it is?
You can't see anything from the road.
Oh, you can't?
No.
I think we buried a lot of horses down there.
So, okay, well, we'll be in touch, or if you want to follow, either way, as soon as we make contact again with the property owner and then DEP, figure out how they want to go about it.
Okay.
You just need to get on to inspect, yeah, somebody else to go inspect it.
Yeah, DEP will do the inspection, but we have to sort of facilitate getting the property.
No, I haven't been down that road in a long time, so.
Oh, which, not your wheelhouse, but they did grade it, they graded the, they took care of our road before they did any of the other roads that everybody's complaining about in town, and we would prefer that nobody go down our road because.
Because now it's too good and people go too fast, right?
Yeah, it's a racetrack from North Brookfield to
How far down did they grade? I've only seen
They went all the way over to Spencer Line.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Great.
About a mile.
They start all the way up at the corner there of.
Yep.
I don't
They did
know
a
why
nice
they
job.
why they made that a priority compared to.
You'd rather
Yeah,
have.
we didn't have any,
Oh,
we
yes,
didn't have any
absolutely.
traffic for a while there, it was great.
Did Goshers get sold?
Yes, and really nice family bought it. They're doing.
They can redo use the barn and do.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, they're
they
redoing
got
the
loads
house,
of houses up
everything.
there now and stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing a great
They're
job.
from Paxton.
Yeah, you know, that's the only time you should go down that road was to go to your house or to Carol's.
Yeah, Elko's gone now. 34 this year, last year.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
thank
All
you.
right, thanks a lot. Thank you. Take care, have a good night.
Old clients.
We got,
Gosh, whoever goes down that road, unless, what would be the point of anybody going on that road? I guess a cut through now if it's a faster road.
Well, does it connect? Where is Heinsbridge Road?
It goes from the Kaminsky, is it Kaminsky's
Yeah,
farm?
Kaminsky's
And it
right
goes
at the top of
it goes
Ashley
all the
Road.
way, over to,
Spencer
almost to
Fairgrounds.
Bemis's, just about to ends up at Bemis Nursery, but
Right.
parallel to the North Brookfield Road.
Right.
And there was only those two houses, her house and, I mean, other than Gosher's farm, there was only her house and that was it until you got way up to the other end.
Now, isn't there a lady who does barn sales on?
Yeah, that's the one that that's the house probably that was sold.
Oh,
They both passed away.
I see, okay.
And they used to have a lot of horses there. Yeah, she used to have big barn sales there. They were a big thing.
the Goshers
Yeah.
that are the
Yeah.
other. Oh.
Yeah, it was on it was literally in the barn.
I just remember when she was the animal,
Yeah, she was the
control officer,
animal control
we
officer.
got
Who?
Carol Gosher?
Oh,
We went into her house to look for cats a couple times. It was
one of my
interesting,
residents.
to say the least.
Oh yeah, a lot of cats.
My resident Marie Cormier out at Brookhaven, she used to be the animal inspector for us too.
Well, she was animal inspector and I think animal control
yeah, she
officer.
knows.
Carol was?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I got a few cats from her along the line.
All right, that's, what else we got?
So what about, maybe the well, we kind of skipped, let's see, we got the new website, the renewals, I guess.
Is there anything you want to talk about the renewal letters, since we're here?
I didn't know, like what the process is, when when the latest is I'm supposed to be sending them out. If there's like a vendor that we use, or if I create and send.
You're talking about for recycling center stuff?
For recycling center, and then
I guess for like, permits too, right?
Yeah.
I just have to go through the permitting file and mail out a letter
There
individually.
should be a template, I think. for
I
those-
think I found it,
Okay.
in the email from
Okay.
last year, so I just added that.
Yeah, so those all get, yeah, I mean, theoretically, people should know,
I
and they
got a
should.
couple actually.
Okay.
I was surprised.
Good.
Septic installers.
So it's, you know, it's good of us to let people know that they should
Yeah.
Renew, but, yeah, so anybody who's currently permitted
Okay.
in, like, across the board for everything.
Rocky came in yesterday asking, the tobacco permit, he asked about tobacco permitting and his food permit. And I didn't know if we're able to issue 2026 permits already. I didn't think
No.
so. I thought that was like a no.
I mean, I
So,
guess he could pay for it if he wanted to, and then we issue it.
okay. I don't know that I trust my brain to remember to do that. So, I just let him know that I had to figure that out. So, essentially, I just go through the permit file, mail those out. And then-
Everybody who got a permit for anything has to get a renewal.
When do they have to have it in by? What, you said 6 to 8 week grace period?
Well,
Is that
that's
the
for the,
stickers
that's for the
only?
recycling center.
That makes a lot of sense.
For permits,
Mhm.
so things that are like, I would say like for food permits, tobacco, tattoo, like that sort of stuff should be right first of the year.
Okay. Okay.
Theoretically, there might be a penalty if they don't, but I don't think we've ever really enforced that unless it's gotten like to be really, really late.
Okay.
And then like installers and stuff like that. I mean, theoretically, you know, it'd be great if they were at the first of the year too, but in the winter, they're probably not working anyway, so.
I was still getting permits like when I started in the
Yeah.
summer because they didn't do jobs or
Right,
something until the.
Do you order the 26 stickers so we
That,
have?
oh, that was the big question. Thank you, Sue.
Because it seems like in the past, you know, it's
Where
like,
do I
well, we
get
don't
that
have the
stuff from?
stickers yet, we don't have the stickers
I'll
yet.
look in the email, the vendor for those is in
I
there.
believe I sent it, I forwarded you like the email that I found of a conversation like Kylie was having.
That was with the company that did the mail merge of the lists into the letters that we send, but not the actual sticker company, it's
Okay.
two separate.
Okay, so.
We'll sit down,
Okay.
it'll be easier, yeah.
Does every single resident get a application to get a sticker? It's not just
Yes.
people who've had them before?
No, that's what we used to do, but then we changed.
Yeah, because I
it.
thought that's the way it was for a while, if you hadn't had one before, you didn't get one.
So that's my other question, is that, the sticker file that we have, it's never been able to be transferred over. I've tried to edit it, on the new computer and stuff, and it just reverts back. I don't know if the file's like corrupt or something like that.
Okay.
I've tried to copy the file, and like copy and paste and then do it that way. It's nothing, it's not
So
editable
it just
and
won't
savable.
save.
No, so it's stuck the way that it was, I think, from June or July.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I didn't get the stuff from Kayla until she left, and there was not many that I received, but I really more so want the information from the assessor's office, right, because
Yeah.
of the change of addresses.
Right.
That's,
So they should, I think, be able to give you a spreadsheet with all the names and addresses. And the biggest plus to do it, well, aside from being able to record who actually buys the stickers,
yeah.
the info from the assessor gives you like the information if someone owns a property here but doesn't live here, so that way we're able to send the letter to their actual address and not just to an empty mailbox here.
Okay, cool. That is-
And the stickers themselves should be easy. That's definitely in the email, and you can just choose a color.
Oh, okay, cool. Done about that, I think.
Yeah, and I think we have forms, there are some forms at the, in the I keep still thinking I'm working at this recycle center, but there's a folder with a bunch of forms in it, but they're like a couple years old. And so if people come, because a lot of people, well, at least after the fact, after the first year, when people have been coming want a sticker, they don't have a form or anything, so that's when, we've just been scribbling down a name and address and what they're paying for, but I guess we should, if you do a new form, we should probably have a few of those or they should have a few of them, I think we,
Yeah.
I think I worked there. So that they can fill them out at the time, if somebody just comes, I wanna buy a sticker, and then they can fill out their name and
And
address.
they definitely have in the past had them down there, so.
Yeah, there were some, but I
keep them
think
at
they,
the
I think they were
office too,
24,
yeah.
I think they were
And then-
24s or 23s that are in the folder there. I found when I was cleaning up the office.
I do have, did have another question that you mentioned it. The permits that we have, like the food permits, temporary, do we wanna change them in any way before I send out the like
I
the
would
letters?
just,
Is
oh,
there
no,
any,
other than like just changing the color
like,
for
is
the.
there anything to the actual permitting process, like anything that you can think of? I know like the installer, like for the septic, permits, like, I know it's not like for an installer or whatever, but I've been including that cover sheet that you created, like with that checklist.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm gonna add that, like, to the packet that we keep in the office and stuff. So I didn't know if anything needed to be added to anything before I do that.
I can't think of anything
Okay.
off the top. Maybe, I was gonna say at next month's meeting, we can sort of look at them all and make sure, but that will be pushing it time-wise.
Yeah.
Um,
I went through like the file racks that we have with all our applications in them, because it was kind of a mess, and there's just like 5 different versions of the food permit in there, and stuff like that, but that's like, there's also different versions of septic permit, and there's stuff from the old septic permits that we could probably use in the new, like, I just didn't know if any changes need to be made. It's not a big deal, but,
Well, maybe we
Take the best of all of them. and-
yeah,
put it together,
to be
right?
honest with you, it's the septic that really, I think, and it's not even like an installer's permit, it's really just, and the food permits. I would like a delineation between like the temporary food permit, a mobile food permit, and an establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we could do that, because when people go to the website, they're like confused about.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can take a look at those. Let's see. Yeah, and if you have any time, if you wanna look and see, yeah, like Sue said, sort of pull the best stuff
do
or the
that.
most pertinent stuff together.
I can do that. Cool. Okay, I'm done with it.
How many different kinds of permits do we issue?
Too many.
A lot.
Really?
People do not believe me when I say how involved the Board of Health is. I said, I know, I didn't realize either.
Yeah, we have nothing else to do except to help Karen.
Oh my God, it's been a month and we haven't solved the problem yet. Excuse me.
Still.
Can you shut that up?
No, I can't.
Sorry. Here we go.
No, I think that, so LPAC was recording, and they probably still are recording, just so we know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
They weren't doing it live, but it's gonna be up on the.
Oh, cool, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone wants to watch the video for this long, they're welcome to.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, old business, transportation, staffing, and operations. So I neglected to reopen the Indeed listing for manager, so I will do that tomorrow morning, see if we get any new applicants.
Is
Have
Alex
you thought
going
about
to be
just
working out okay?
hiring an additional monitor?
What'd you say?
Have you thought about just hiring an additional monitor and
Rather than
distributing any work?
that's a possibility.
Way?
Yeah. I mean, I know we had talked about potentially moving Alex up.
Oh.
I don't know if that's, to be honest, I don't know if that is.
Is he
would work.
working out okay?
Seems fine.
I mean, I haven't seen him that many
Yeah.
times. The only thing, and I think this is probably a good thing, I think he's spending more time over with Dylan and Max. I mean, when I was there, after we left from the hazardous waste, the door was closed in the office and it said "C monitor" at the garage. And I know somebody told me they saw on Facebook that somebody complained that, oh, I couldn't even get bags at the recycling center, nobody was there. It's like, well, that's why it says "C monitor" at garage. But I mean, that means he's jumping in and helping, he's not just sitting around.
Not just sitting around, yeah.
So I didn't see him, I didn't stop and talk to anybody when I was there, but I was like, well, I guess that's a good sign, but I think people still don't, they know Dylan, but I think other than Dylan, they don't know who who to ask or who to look for. I still think we
That's
need
why I was
vests or
suggesting
hats.
name tags
Vests
or
or hats or
something,
something.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
so
I went over on Saturday after Hazardous Waste Day, and I just introduced myself to Alex.
Oh, you hadn't met him yet?
No, I hadn't met him. So I said hello and talked to Dylan a bit and introduced myself to Alex. And he was, he was just kind of sort of blank, didn't really interact, but then very quickly there was a customer who needed help with a mattress, and he went over and handled it and seemed to do fine and took the transaction to the register and everything. And it seems as if that's kind of what they're doing, is that he sort of fields people. Yeah, he floats, whereas Dylan and Max are handling the recycling shed.
That works.
And yeah, I mean, he's not personable, I would say, like Dylan is, but he seemed to be doing the job fine, seemed professional.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had other observations.
Just for my initial, before he even started, my initial meeting with him, it was a little different than I would have presented at a job interview, to be honest with you. But I don't know like how he is working, so I don't really like pass judgment there.
I worked with him at the beginning. I worked with
He
him, and I
walked
thought he
into
was
my
pretty.
office and he
He
smelled
was pretty gung ho. You know,
pretty
he was like wanting to do stuff and.
Which is great on your off time, but and he's lucky it was like me. And
What was he telling you on his off time?
Somebody else,
I guess there's pot.
Yeah.
Which is legal in Massachusetts.
Right.
But
But my office, the office was, I was like spraying. I was like, somebody's gonna come in here and think it's me. I was so concerned, and I was talking to him, and I think he was thinking. He looked at me like I had 12 heads. It was just a very reminiscent conversation, of like me being. But he's young, and if he's doing the job fine, then
Yeah, I think we see how it seems like he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And I might just post the job just to see if we get any hits on someone super.
That would be nice.
Qualified.
That would be nice.
My hesitation to hire only another monitor is that then, and it's completely understandable, like I don't see someone being hired for that position to want to take the responsibility that at least some of the duties.
Yeah.
When it's 15 an hour.
Well, I was gonna say, couldn't you take the manager's like rate and disperse it?
Disperse it, yeah.
Well, that was what Dylan had suggested to me, that why not just keep give everybody salary higher and just have 3, but then I think you had said, then when one person's out, if for some reason, or on vacation, then we're gonna get called to fill in again.
3 is tight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe we could try one more time posting for manager, and even if we do get someone, they might pull out like the last guy did. And if it doesn't work out, then I think we really should go to the select board and say it's just not working with these rates of pay, and something will have to be reshuffled, or ultimately all we can do then is redistribute those funds to the 3 people who are working there, because we can't really get a 4th with the money that we're offering, right?
What are the big things that a manager would do that these guys do not do?
That's what I'm wondering. Because what's the expectation? Like a day-to-day for
I think the main things are calling vendors.
Mhm.
Right now, Dylan's just been telling me, and I've been making all the calls.
Okay.
And then doing the deposits. Right now, you're doing those.
Okay.
And then I think just like keeping tabs on general upkeep and stuff. Like Sue went in and did a bunch of cleanup the other day.
Okay.
And I think the last thing would just be like being the main person to respond if there's an issue.
Okay.
Being ready to go down there or to handle what to do if an issue comes up during operation. Just being the main point person.
Right.
I keep trying to convince Dylan to take the job, and he won't. But I think the big thing is he says he doesn't like making phone calls. He said, I don't do phone calls.
I mean, is it that many phone calls? Because I get a lot of Casella, I saw you talking to them today, but I'm in the email anyways. You know, I just.
Well, you must have to call when the
Yeah,
the
I'm
meadow's
wondering, like,
full and when this is
what-
full and that's full and get them to come, you know, when you need it. But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like that's such a huge responsibility that it would be. And then Dylan talks to them when they come. I don't get why he could, instead of telling us that things are full and we need to call, why doesn't he just?
I guess it's not even, maybe not so much that like, it's not something that someone could do, but, you know, I'm just thinking like hypothetically, it doesn't get done, and then who do we blame? Is it okay to
Right.
like blame someone whose responsibility isn't really that thing, you know?
Things gonna have to be restructured and.
Yeah.
Because like upkeep of the facility could very well be part of the monitor.
Yeah.
Like job description for sure. But yeah.
I think it's just probably not a real attractive job.
I think
You know,
it's
especially with
hours.
winter
Hours,
coming, minimal hours.
To have a man, like a job supervising and managing or whatever, but have, you know, those hours, it's not ideal. It would, you know, have to be someone that is on a fixed income that can only work, you know, a situation like that.
All right, well, why don't let's just see if we get any other hits, and then maybe next month we'll think about if we need to change things up, whether it's ask for more money or whether it's maybe change the job descriptions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't hurt to tell the select board that we've had good applicants that we believed could do the job well, and they've disappeared because it just wasn't attractive enough to pay.
Well, I mean, even the money, even the hourly money, it's not very many hours, so it's not certainly
Right.
going to be a supporting job. I mean, it's no matter what you pay at 13 hours a week, it's not going to be much of a salary. It's got to be somebody who's only doing it part-time.
Right.
And that's what I was impressed with Alex. At least he said, well, I do something else. I forget what he drives for something. Whatever his job is, he said, I told them that I was going to be, you know, that he worked it out so that he still had Wednesdays and Saturdays to be at the recycle center. But it's obviously a second job for somebody, not a primary job.
Right. And I did talk to Joe Trentacosta at one point on the finance committee and told him that we're struggling and that I might be coming to them. And he was totally understanding. So I'm hoping that this coming year maybe we'll be able to work on that for everybody.
I did put in the back the budget, you know, the balances that Sheila
great.
sent over, just in case you guys want to look at them.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's done. Animal inspector, Deb's already on the job.
Yeah.
Been good.
Oh, yeah.
Already on the
Call
job?
her. See if she wants the job.
Oh, right.
Try to convince her, because she was like, well, I really want something with animals. And I said, well, yeah, but, I mean, you're, like, just do it. So.
This is Vanessa's suggestion for
I think it's a great
Deb
idea,
for the
and
manager.
I was like, you'd be working with, like, directly with me, you wouldn't have to, like, really talk to, you know, anybody
What would she
else.
be doing?
For the
I think
recycling
she would
center
be a good
manager.
fit as the
Oh.
transfer station manager.
Who is this?
The animal inspector, Deb.
Oh, the one who's
Who we hired.
through the regional.
No, the one who came in.
Oh, she's just, that's right,
that-
she's
that
just
we talked
our
to.
animal inspector,
Yeah.
but she's animal inspector for other towns too, right?
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
For Brookfield.
Yeah.
She lives in Brookfield.
Oh, so
Animal
she might be
control.
something else that's a part-time, another
Yeah,
part-time?
she was working for the Board of Health, she was the clerk for Brookfield. She just quit a week or two ago. And she's looking for another job, pretty bad.
Okay. I'll give her a call.
Yeah.
Nice.
Forgot about that, okay. Household hazardous waste day recap. It was
How'd you get for,
good.
what'd you get for numbers?
I forgot to bring them, oh wait, no, I have them in an email.
Oh, did you give the $2 to Ethan?
No, I
We waived
Well,
the $2.
I'll
We
tell you what
waived- we
actually
waived that
happened
too.
was, I had a bunch of those pink slips and the sticky notes in my pocket when I went home.
Stuck to them?
And I grabbed it the whole wad and I was throwing them in my wood stove. And as I looked, there was like, oh shoot, there's money in there. And I grabbed it out, but it was only $2 and they both burned, so I had,
Oh.
so I'll pay you $2 if you need to. We only
No,
off by
that's okay.
$2?
That's okay. What I realized though, I counted the cash and I came up with $1,688 cash. And so when you texted, I have $2, I thought, oh, that does make sense.
Makes it an
Add
even
2,
number.
And now it's a round number. But it was,
Well, I came up with a higher number.
well, that's just the cash. Then
Oh,
the
Then include checks.
checks were over 1,000. So I guess it was 688 cash, 1,000, I think 1,050.
Total that I had was 18 total, something like that. Does that?
That sounds
add up
about
sort of?
right then.
Yeah.
1,000
I'm trying
and
to
over
find
1,000
Can I
and.
actually ask you something? I've been wondering, the inspectors, the animal inspector, out of the, I'm looking at the balance sheet, it's the last one. Does Deb get paid out of the animals, out of the inspector salary, the 1,500, since she's the only inspector we have?
The BOH salary inspector is 1,500, yes,
Okay.
that is Deb.
Below that, there's an animal quarantine. What does that go to?
That's if we ever have
Have
to
to
pay a
house
shelter or something like that, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
She was asking what what she got paid.
Yeah. So
When she got paid.
we've done, we can pretty much do it how she wants it. We've always done 2 payments, basically, like one end of the year and one, well, since it's fiscal year, one middle of the year, like one December, end of December, and then one end of June.
Okay, I'll let her know.
But, yeah.
Okay, I'll let her know.
And actually, I should, while we're talking about that, even though it's totally, we do the same thing for the commissioner salary.
Oh, for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just divide that in 2 and do one in the winter and one at the end of the fiscal year.
So do you do it around this time or closer towards the end?
Closer towards like the beginning of January.
Okay.
But there's no rule on it.
If she wants to have it put in, it has to be voted on, right?
No, her salary's been, we've already approved
So
it.
it can, so whenever she wants it, she can get it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let her know. Thank you. Oh, I was looking for the number. So we had 158 cars, that I remember.
158?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In 3 hours, that's like 50, over 50 an hour.
Yeah, I know, it was a lot.
Yeah, well, and who knows how many people missed the cutoff.
I heard, yeah, do you really have to turn people away?
Yeah.
Yes, we had to cut off the line at like 11:30.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, and.
Well, you said it was 2 more
Well-
towns this year than normal? That's why it seemed like there were so many?
Western Charleston?
I think, yeah, right,
But-
2 more. Maybe 1 dropped out that had been previously. I think it was 5 last year.
Brookfield.
Right. Yeah, West Brookfield.
West Brookfield, yeah. But, I mean, it was a lot of demand, and, I mean, we probably should, do you know what John Alpin said? He was the one looking into people's cars and assessing the amount. And he said 2 people got really mad and yelled at him. One, I think, about the long wait, and one about the $35 fee. And John said he told them, well, if you're upset about it, go back to your town select board and tell them you don't want to participate anymore. You don't want to be part of it next year. Because like, what else? It's like, well, this is our capacity. We can't handle more than this. And 35, I think, is the same fee as last year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think it's.
Well, and if you've got more than 10 gallons, don't bring it all. And it's free if you bring under 10 or less.
Yeah, yeah. And it's,
Or you can go to somewhere else and you pay $35 per gallon to get rid of it.
per gallon, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's up to them whether they like how things played out or not. But if they want to keep participating, we probably should say we need to somehow increase capacity by having a longer day or having
2 days or something.
2 times,
Yeah.
not just one
Yeah.
day.
So
Yeah.
actually, so I sent this email to the people the towns. So what do we have? North Brookfield had 39 cars, Spencer 33, Charlton 25, Brookfield 21, East Brookfield 18, Leicester 14, and Warren 8.
So
And
it wasn't like any one town really dominated.
We did.
we did.
We had the most, the biggest number.
But but everybody knows about it in our town.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's most convenient. I'm surprised it wasn't more from Leicester, because
Yeah,
I figured
I
that
was
must
too.
have been the increase,
Yeah.
but.
And Charlton too, because Charlton is a big town too.
Yeah, well, they had 25, they were number 3. But I did get a response from Maureen in Brookfield, saying that potentially Brookfield could do one. So maybe if we did one and then they did one. I think the issue with doing it for a longer amount of time is that, like, the truck needs to be that much bigger. And I
Yeah.
don't know
It's a kind of investment, like.
I think it costs a lot more once they like.
What needs to be
expand.
bigger?
The truck, like the.
Oh, the dumpster that they brought? Or the,
No,
what
like
they-
the actual, like all the barrels and then
Oh.
all that stuff.
Of course, I haven't been to one in many, many years, but I was pretty impressed by the crew, how many crew there were, and the way they worked. They were really
Yeah.
like a well-oiled machine, what they were
Yeah.
doing, and they were very efficient at getting cars through.
Yeah.
I actually talked to quite a few people, and I said, sorry about the wait, and most people were like, oh, it's quite all right, we're just glad you're doing this, we're
Yeah.
just so happy you're doing this.
Yeah.
Nobody's expressed being upset with me at all. I said, next time
Yeah.
we'll have coffee out
Yeah.
here.
No, that's okay.
At the beginning, when you come in the gate, you get a coffee.
No, most people were very happy about it and didn't
Yeah.
complain about the
Yeah.
wait, and were really happy if it was free. We're like, oh, it's free.
Yeah, people came in, they said, well, I have a check, and I said, well, did we have a slip? And it said, it said quarter or half, and I said, you don't owe anything,
No
you're
charge.
$10.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wow, I have a check all ready for you.
Yeah. I think one other thing, and the only thing I sort of wasn't, that they maybe could have done better, was a lot of people still came in with latex paint.
That was still a thing.
Still a thing, almost as many as last year. And so we could, more prominently tell people.
On the flyer.
You don't have to bring in latex paint, it's non-toxic. And then when people did come in, I had to explain to some people, it's okay with latex, it's non-toxic, just let it dry out, you can throw it away. And the staff didn't explain that to people. They just
Okay.
said, we're not taking latex. And
Okay.
one family came up to me kind of upset, like, you're not taking latex, when can I bring it in? I said, you don't have to, it's not toxic. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
The fact that they're not taking it doesn't mean you have to take it somewhere else. It means
Right.
you don't need to give it to us.
Yeah, it means
Oh,
it's
that's
not,
such a
it's not
concern.
toxic, it's not hazardous waste. As long as it's not gonna cause a mess in your trash can, you can throw it in the garbage. So
So
that,
did John, I guess John didn't look at, if they had stuff like that, he didn't sort it out for.
No, they
them.
did. I think they tried to at
Yeah,
least.
so John would
So
say,
they only counted
'cause
the
I-
stuff that they were actually
Okay,
gonna get rid of.
because I know when I saw one of the guys going through the back of somebody's car, and he kept lifting up everything and looking at it and
Like,
putting
nope,
it back
nope,
down, and I'm like,
Maybe,
Oh.
yeah, they probably just missed some, but generally they try to.
to say, these, at least let them know.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
you sign even, well, like I said, even before, when you advertise it, no latex paint necessary, or is not hazardous waste,
Right.
put it in your trash.
non-hazardous, yeah, I think we can make that clearer, signs
Of
and
course,
stuff.
even if you say that, people don't look at their cans, they don't know what's actually in them.
No.
Yeah, well, and some people came in where they had just all kinds of stuff,
Right.
and latex was just part of it.
Yeah.
And the staff said, oh no, we're not taking latex, but they took.
They didn't tell them
other
why they
stuff.
weren't taking it, yeah.
No, they
It's
didn't
not
explain that
necessary.
part, yeah.
There's one woman coming in, she goes, oh, by the way, that black box in the back is full of mercury. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask what that means. It was like, don't touch that black box back there. She said, I just need to
Starts
tell
glowing.
you. I mean, I don't know, what's a box of mercury?
No, liquid, like she actually had a box full of liquid mercury.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
where
it
does
was
one
a
open
closed
it?
little black box.
That
Jar
is
of
something that she
box
was getting
of
rid of.
mercury.
Yeah, she brought it to
okay,
get rid of,
good.
and she said, I just should tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like, okay, maybe you should
Yeah,
tell
you-
the guys up there. I don't
Yeah.
know if they mean, be careful when you pick it up, you don't
Right.
open it by
Yeah, no,
mistake.
exactly.
I mean, I don't know what that would do to you, but maybe she had a lot of
Not good-
thermometers.
not good for you, yeah.
Thermom-
Well, we can talk, I'll talk to Maureen and see if it makes sense to do more than one, or what the cost difference is between just extending hours on a single day versus running a whole separate event.
But yeah, we could support if they wanna host one in Brookfield, I mean,
I don't know if they
sure.
can, like, the main reason that we've always done it is because we have a revolving account, and a lot of towns, Boards of Health don't have it.
A revolving, for the costs?
Yeah, because, so we have, our revolving account allows us to both withdraw and deposit. So we're able to pay for it up front or whenever and get
Reimbursed after?
Reimbursed, we invoice the other towns. So if a town doesn't have.
So some of them don't let them spend the money up front? You mean?
Well, no, it's that in order to recoup the payment from another town, you have to have the kind of account that we have. Because if you don't have a revolving account like this, we would pay for it, and then there would be no mechanism for another town to pay us back.
To take the money back.
They can't just give you a check and you put it in the bank? I guess I don't understand
You have
banking.
to have an expenditure account and then, like, is that?
Revenue, yeah.
A revenue
Yeah.
account, so if you can't,
You
if
can't
they're
mix them
not
up.
revolving, money can only go in one, it can only go one way.
Oh, shows what I know about bank accounts.
I didn't know that until I started here.
So, and most people have a revolving account, like
No other way
individual
around.
people.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
don't
it's like
think
I can
not
put money in or I can take money
Yeah,
out.
right.
But businesses don't normally do that. Okay. Doesn't seem like a stupid idea. Like, what do I know?
The Cannabis Control Commission was nothing major. There was an email a while back about that they had done an inspection down there and they found some things and that, I don't know, did you have some correspondence with James?
Yes, he
Is that
called
James?
last night, and I was like, he's like, are you actually in the office right now? It was 4:05. Are you in the office right now? I can head right down there. I was like, I'm leaving in 15 minutes. I wasn't, but did not. Yeah. He's like, okay, you got 15 minutes, great. So he took those 15 minutes, and he explained to me that, like, from beginning to end what the DPH did or what the CCC did. He sent an email, I think I forwarded it to you, I printed it, I think it's somewhere, but essentially, maybe it's at the office still.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, okay. That's the email. You guys should
I don't
have
think
it
we
as
got
well.
that.
Or maybe that's when I started to get tired of running back and forth to the center.
So that was, this is the one in town, the Cannabis Commission in town?
He was very dismissive about and like downplaying what the issues were. And from my understanding, any sort of issue involving the air or humidity in a grow facility is a huge issue, and it's dangerous. And across Massachusetts and New England in general, grow facilities are having huge outbreaks of mold, and people are getting really sick because when you inhale it, it obviously it can spore in your lungs.
So these are workers in the facility?
So it's both. Workers are actually calling the DPH or calling the CCC on their jobs anonymously, calling in tips because they're working in these conditions and they're getting sick or could potentially get sick. And then people that purchase cannabis are also complaining because they're getting home and there's mold on it, and you can't return it. Yeah, and it's like a huge thing.
So I know that we got the email from the CCC saying, just like sort of informational, being like, hey, we did this, we heard this, and we did the inspection. Then why did James all of a sudden call you? Was there any other in between?
Because of the Facebook posting of the agenda.
Oh.
He called me, and the guy from 45 Heinsbrook showed up at the office.
Okay.
And I said, you guys have been on the agenda for like 2 months. I said, why are you just showing up now? Oh, well, we saw it on Facebook. I said, so.
Our agenda normally isn't on Facebook.
Yeah, I was like, I said, you're on, like, we're on the agenda already. Nothing new, so. I told them
So they
didn't have to
thought they
come.
were in trouble, huh?
Yeah, and not to mention, the original agenda, I did have it under 2026 renewals. I had Heinsbrook, whatever, and that one, so everyone was a little bit.
So it's not, I mean, are they supposed to control this better so they don't have mold? I mean, obviously that doesn't seem like a normal thing.
It's not normal, and I think the DPH, I had to be very careful about what I said about what the DPH had said to us, it seemed like, because he seemed very either nonchalant about it, like he didn't really care, or the DPH didn't tell him that it was an ongoing investigation kind of thing.
I think that was McQuaid, not McQuaid.
Yes.
He, I think, is their legal counsel.
Oh.
So I've heard him speak before, and yeah, he's the kind of guy who, you know, everything's okay. Don't worry about it, kind of thing. Which, and who knows? I mean, it could be totally true that like all these plants have all these problems and they fix them and it's fine. But
I was talking to Patrick about it, and Patrick was saying that that place also makes like food products. They do food, they do tinctures, they do edibles, like they do a variety of things. And he said, so not only like, he said now like it's getting to the point where if it gets past the process where someone sees it in the facility and then cooks with it, now there's moldy like oil in that food or the tincture or whatever that those people are consuming, or even worse, like the oils that you're inhaling, like that stuff goes right to your brain. So it's a really big deal. It was just wild to me that he was just like, no.
So it's not just the employees, it's the purchasers too, or all your, I would think that would be a huge health issue.
Yeah. I
for
actually
better or
watched
worse, we don't really have to touch it.
Yeah.
No, that's not our responsibility?
No.
They were just letting us know.
Yeah.
So that's under what, more like a state control?
Cannabis Control Commission. Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of stuff about goes on in this that I don't know about.
What's next?
There's really nothing else that's too important other than the 2 emails that are in the back of the thing from the CCC, because they were about the permit, the like in-house food permits, and then a barn permit for like USDA meat or something. I just wanted to have, since I have all you guys here, wanted to get
So
some
I
help.
think for the farm, so he says he wants to sell dried garlic powder and pork from pigs raised on the property. For the garlic, would I need to obtain a residential kitchen permit? For the pork, what do I need to be able to sell it? I already have a dedicated freezer for that meat, and we'll have it processed and properly labeled in a USD certified facility. So we should confirm with Lester, but I'm 99% sure he just needs a retail food permit.
Okay, from us?
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be something different about the fact that he has a farm, but I think that it's just a retail food permit.
Okay. Thank you. Should this go to Michelle? Is she the
for now.
point of contact for now?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, so we have LRPHC on there. So Michelle, I'm trying to remember if she was back last time, was on maternity leave. She's back. And we have a contracted food inspector named Mike Mendez, who's been doing inspections because there's no other, because Chris is still training and.
These are for like restaurant?
Yeah.
Any place that serves food?
Yeah. And then, so Chris is still training, and then they hired another new person who is also totally green. Actually, his name, I think his last name is Green. He's gonna be training also, and both of them, he's already doing like shadowing and walkthroughs with Michelle. So, yeah, that's where we're at. But Michelle is like the main point of contact for inspectional stuff, even though she's also the health director.
She's a busy lady.
So is she for like Worcester County?
No, just the Leicester
Just the
Coalition.
Leicester Coalition.
Yeah. She previously worked in Framingham, and then after that she worked where I work at CMRPC, and then she came to Leicester.
Do we pay for that?
Nope.
Grant.
Is it grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice to have somebody to rely on who's more, it seems like, how can you know everything?
Yeah.
Well, you know a lot about this job. You're the only one that knows who to call about what.
Have we always had that as an option, or who was?
2022, I think, is when we.
Who was the health inspector before?
There were a bunch of people.
Was it in town? Like
Yeah.
people in town?
So we still have in the budget, we have a line for, where is it? There's a budget line for food inspector salary.
Oh, really?
So that's what we used to pay someone yearly to do all this work. So that's why, in part, it didn't ever, I think, probably was not done as comprehensively as it should have.
Oh, really?
And, so part of and the reason that we still have that there is because
gonna
the
say, why?
terms of the grant, we can't supplant existing funding. So, we could theoretically use that $2,000 for something else, but it has to stay within the Board of Health budget. But then the problem with using it for something else is that if the Lester Group ever goes away, then we have to find the money again, which means taking it away from something else. So it's sort of a little bit of a whack-a-mole.
Can't use it just for 1 year, put it somewhere else for a year and then put it
No,
back?
yeah, we could, we totally
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
yeah. If we had something that we wanted to use it for, we could use it, and then just refund that line again next year.
So at one point, did we have like what would have dealt with Karen's problem, our own food inspector that would have dealt with that? And then we wouldn't have.
Talk about having even less resources and less knowledge, it would have been taking longer and longer.
Oh, that would have been less knowledge?
Well, maybe not less knowledge, but.
But we went right up to.
If it's a super part-time person like that, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
you know.
so this went right to
Making
Michelle, who's a
$2,000
full-time
a year to
person.
do that,
Yeah.
and be hated. Food inspectors are so hated. Health inspectors are so hated, and in such a small town.
So are Board of Health members.
I'm finding that out.
By the sounds of it.
Yikes on bikes.
Are these mics off?
They're not. I will, actually, I don't know. Corey, are we still recording? I don't know. That reminded me also, what was I gonna say? So I've also, Michelle has been, have you been CC'd on the inspection reports? I think I forwarded them.
I haven't been CC'd, but you've been forwarding them.
I'll make sure that you're CC'd, because that's better. Michelle has been sending over the reports after she goes out with either Mike, well, Mike Mendez goes out by himself, but Michelle will go out with Chris or the new guy.
How often do they do it?
All the establishments need to be inspected twice a year.
Twice a year?
But there's no schedule necessarily because.
Okay, but I know it was once a year, it's twice a year they have to be.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's like mandated twice a year, but that's the schedule
Maybe
that
their
they do,
standard.
yeah.
Well, luckily, we don't
Or
have
maybe-
that, we don't have that many, do we?
No.
Yeah. Not like some towns that every other place is a food.
Right, yeah.
But
But if you guys want to see those reports at some point, feel free, I'll send them over. They're kind of, well, my point was, our previous inspector, Mackenzie, who I think a lot of people would agree, maybe could have done a better job. So Mike is going around and inspecting places, and they're getting hit with a whole bunch of stuff
People are
that
not
Mackenzie either didn't notice or let pass or whatever.
It'll make you not want to
Eat anywhere out?
Yeah.
I've heard that about most restaurants. You wouldn't want to go in the kitchen in
Yeah,
most restaurants.
as being a waitress, you definitely see that. But like you're living, your hometown like pizza shop or something. You don't want that to be tainted for you.
Luckily, I haven't seen anything terrible.
No, not
Actually,
like that.
it's mostly been just operational stuff.
Pizza Palace is immaculate, but.
Is that right? Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I think that they had like signage things.
Yeah, or
That was
maybe a
pretty much
sink
it.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh, good, because that's one of my favorites.
It's my favorite. So, yeah, it's the only pizza place in town I'll eat at.
Interesting.
I don't even usually go there for pizza, but I used to always get sandwiches.
Just the way.
Okay, so that was the.
And then I think there was one more.
Sadie
Sadie,
Kiley,
yeah.
considering trying to open a food stand to sell sourdough baked goods that I would make in my home kitchen. Looked on the Board of Health website and saw different permit applications, so she would
This
just
would be
need
a
the
home, what's the?
food
Cottage.
food establishment permit with a residential kitchen.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, sorry. Is it cottage or is it residential?
It's,
Should
I get a list of what she's?
It would be cottage, yeah.
It would be cottage?
Yeah.
Oh, I was right. I was guessing on that one.
I know we won some at some raffle, we won some cupcakes from somebody who did them in their home, I think it was Brookfield.
Okay.
And when she said, well, my kitchen has to be up to snuff, they have to inspect it because I bake these cupcakes here and then sell them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's so many different permit levels that's why even this thing, the thing with the food collaborative, it's like, all these different, whether it's a residential or a commercial kitchen, or TCS foods, or produce, or is it like food foods, when people put up little vegetable food stands in their front yard and they get rid of their vegetables, I mean, I guess they're not necessarily have to have a permit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think the cottage provision, I mean, I glanced through this earlier today, is like shelf stable and also baked goods, because they're not like as perishable as like meat, fish, dairy. So like that would be like you have to get the full-fledged food establishment permit if you're, because I guess the baked goods are not, they don't fall under TCS, right?
Even if they might have like buttercream frosting.
That's different, that's TCS.
different. As
Oh,
soon
that's,
as- yeah.
so what do normally?
We're talking about like sourdough breads.
Like
and
breads and stuff, but not anything with fillings and frostings.
No.
Right.
Which you think of, to me, I think of a home bakery of, you know, cakes and cupcakes are all frosted.
Right.
But that,
Although there are some frostings that are like shelf stable.
well, actually, you can buy the stuff in the can that
Yeah.
you don't have to you know.
It's just
So,
put
but I
in
think
more
it actually,
sugar.
but it is actually still a residential kitchen permit, I believe.
Okay. Alright. So should I ask her to, for like a more specific list of the goods she'd be selling? Or?
Yeah, that would be
yeah.
good. And then also, we have the food establishment plan review.
Mhm.
She could take a look at that, and even if she doesn't actually pay to submit it and have it reviewed, it would probably be helpful.
Okay.
Ideally, she would pay and have it submitted, and then she'd get, you know, more guidance.
Yeah.
That'd be helpful.
And we could also send her that page, the one that Karen was referring to with the 105 CMR 590.
You have it right in your packet too.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the one that was the one that you and Michelle quoted all the time, that CMR.
It's this one right here.
That is all to do with food.
The food code, yeah.
The food code.
Yeah, and it has, okay, purpose and definitions, and I think there's,
It's right here. Two.
yeah.
You printed that one out here? Yeah, I think I saw that one. I got my papers all mixed up here now.
Food establishment, I think it lays out like this cottage, exactly what that means, what the definition is. Of course I can't search.
I've had only one person inquire about a cottage, specifically a cottage foods permit.
Yeah, residential kitchen for a cottage food operation, so that's, which does.
Only if food is not time and temperature controlled for safety.
Yeah, a person who produces cottage food products only in the home kitchen of that person's primary domestic resident, only for sale directly to the consumer. So this is, 590.001, cottage food operation and cottage food products. We could just suggest maybe that's what she's proposing, and she can just take a look and make sure that that works for her.
Okay.
Yeah. Non-time temperature control for safety baked goods, jams, jellies, other non-time temperature.
That was the other one,
foods.
jams and jellies.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. My last thing is, that the special town meeting is going to be December 10th. So the selectman's office would like to, have any articles that we have to be put on the agenda.
We don't have any outstanding bills anymore from prior year, right?
No. The raw materials one.
Oh,
No, wait, I paid that. Didn't you have me pay that out of something else? Let me look at,
I don't remember. Maybe.
I believe that one might have gotten, I have to look.
Okay.
No,
I know
it's
that
still sitting in my invoice box because you had said that you guys were gonna have to go in front of the select board.
Okay.
And have yes.
So, okay, I will, I know I should already know this, but can you ask Sheila what I need to give her to
Yep.
do that? Okay. And then that'll have to be on the warrant for that meeting. But other than, I don't think there's anything else that we would need to have at a special town meeting.
Actually, this is the last thing. payroll and, warrants are due Monday instead because of the holiday next week. So if you need me to do payroll on Saturday, I can, or.
Let's see, Monday next week.
Yeah, so it's the 24th. It sounds like something important's happening that day.
I can probably get in and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if not. I'm
Okay.
right down the street, so I don't know.
Okay.
Take long.
And are you okay with the deposits still
Yeah.
for the time being?
Yeah, that's fine.
One other email, Jess is the food service manager at Vibram, looking to install a new dishwasher, possibly a stove. I would forward this to Michelle.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to say that someone would just come out and take a visit, but I don't know if that's really an option.
That was what I was thinking. Okay, thank you.
Is that just like for employees' lunch room or something that they
Sounds
want?
like it maybe, yeah.
They have to ask to get a permit to get a stove and a dishwasher?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really say if it's replacing something or installing, like installing a kitchen where there hasn't been one.
No, it doesn't say.
But it doesn't seem, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't need to be inspected. Certainly not if it's in a replacement.
No, it sounds like more like a building inspector kind of thing, if anything, or fire inspector.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a commercial kitchen though, and she wants to make sure, I don't know.
Did you look in this for the RDP? Because there is a signature, I just noticed there's signature spaces in it. But it's also like a checklist and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it didn't seem
So,
like.
I'm sure check, this is the deadline.
Checklist.
I can fill this out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is your signature there? To accept, you must, please sign and return the attached RDP contract. After received contract, funds will be sent. Also see the enclosed checklist for instructions related to the drop-off equipment grant. The receipt of funds is contingent upon the grantee being able to certify that it will comply with the MGL. And the MBTA Communities Act, compliance with the MBTA Communities Act is determined by Office of Executive Housing and Livable Communities. This is something I can look into tomorrow if you need me to. But, that's a lot.
No, that, we don't need to worry about all the MBTA stuff now.
Yeah.
Well, so, I signed something.
Yeah, what you said.
Okay.
This is separate than that,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, but if that's for the other 6,000, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
This is just for the.
That's just for the 6,000 for the 10 points, right? Yeah. I wonder if there was just another passing somewhere.
There wasn't, there might be, but I opened it up. As long as you don't have to
I don't think it's super.
be a meeting,
sensitive.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else either.
I think we got through the whole agenda maybe?
All right, so we'll call it at
Alive.
8:40. Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.